11 Alive has reported multiple times on the state of Georgia's untested rape kits.
Yeah, that's right, but the backlogs are cleared. But Natisha, some of those victims are still in limbo.
That's right, Ron. Some say their evidence was either lost or destroyed, likely ruining their chances of ever getting that justice they want. Now a state lawmaker is fighting to make sure that doesn't happen again.
He forced me to perform oral sex on him before each time he would rape me.
Last April, I interviewed rape survivor Susan Schuneman at her kitchen table. She showed me photos of crucial pieces of evidence from her rape 34 years ago.
These were crime scene pictures, but they were not developed. That was in 1985. They were not developed till 2005.
This time last year, there were nearly 3,000 untested rape kits in Georgia. Susan was hopeful. One of them was hers.
There's always that glimmer of hope inside that maybe mine's in those.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says a once extensive backlog of untested rape kits has finally now been cleared.
2 months before the backlog was cleared, police contacted Susan.
I was just basically told, well, we think we destroyed it 3 years after the fact, but we can't prove that because we can't find our paperwork.
In Georgia, there is no statute of limitations when it comes to rape, sexual assault, or sodomy. But current law doesn't provide the same protections for evidence.
Our law has been 10 years for the time period that we would hold it.
State Representative Scott Holcomb is working to change that.
And what we're doing by House Bill 282 is extending it much longer.
40 years longer, allowing evidence to remain preserved and stored for 50 years.
That might seem like a long time, but I can promise you to victims who go to bed every night wondering whether or not their perpetrator is out there, it never goes away.
Susan now runs a rape crisis center where she's seen other victims like her experience what she calls denied justice.
It feels as though it just did not matter. And it does still feel that way sometimes. And that's not a feeling that any victim of this crime should have to experience or feel.
Even years later, people still looking for closure and healing. So what is the status of the legislation?
Well, House Bill 282 passed the House already, but it still has to make it through the Senate. The deadline is by tomorrow. So if it passes that, then it could become law this year. Otherwise, they'll have to wait until the following year. Now, as far as Susan is concerned, she says she still has that glimmer of hope because she says anybody who is a victim of a crime like this is always going to have that hope, even though she says people might think I'm crazy, but I'm still hoping for the best.
Absolutely.
Right,
we'll keep our eye on that one, that's for sure.